Just for the record, this is probably one of the only times I'm going to be making a video like this. Tears of the Kingdom is repetitive. Obviously! Many videos popping up on my YouTube feed usually relate to Zelda, and recently I've encountered many videos surrounding the same topic that I'm getting sick and tired of. The problem with Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, a disappointing masterpiece. Tears of the Kingdom critique, a legendary disappointment. Why I can't enjoy Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom burnout. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is too repetitive. And then Zelda burnout. All of these videos are just a bunch of Yapper McYappingtons blabbing about how Tears of the Kingdom is repetitive and not as good as they had hoped. Obviously, the game wasn't going to be as good as Breath of the Wild. It's a sequel, okay? It has the same map. You don't have to make an hour-long video discussing every single aspect of the game and then compare its similarities with the first one, okay? The expectations of Tears of the Kingdom was honestly just too much. People out here lick the boot of Nintendo and praise them like they're God or something, when really, Nintendo just wanted to catch that bag and throw in a few more ideas that they had for Breath of the Wild. It was never meant to be a new exploration. It was never meant to be the most innovative experience known to man. It was just meant to be a sequel. One last taste of Breath of the Wild before turning to something new. Did they add a lot of content? Yes. Was it as engaging as the last game? I mean, I guess not. However, most of the people complaining probably shouldn't even care at this point, okay? Most loser nerds have over 100 hours in Breath of the Wild, so why even complain in the first place about Tears of the Kingdom being repetitive, knowing dang well they've played the first game about 20 times? I don't know about you, but my experience went something like this. A brief history of my story. Breath of the Wild released in 2017. For that year, I played the game for 50 hours and beat it. And then I played it a second time, but never completed it after that. Since that time, every so often, I'd play the game from scratch and be content, but every single time, it just became a bit more disengaging. It got to the point where I finally stopped replaying it around 2022 and focused more on other games. When Tears of the Kingdom was announced, I was excited, and obviously I wondered what will become of it just like we all did. And I waited for its release. And once it came out, I begun my first playthrough of the game with much fun. However, mastering every game mechanic was much more simpler this time around, since all the runes were pretty much go through the ceiling, lift stuff, merge stuff, and move back in time, okay? At first, I had attempted to play through the game linearly through the temples, but after being oblivious in what to do in the water temple, I spent around 3 months just exploring the map and getting every shrine that I could. 3 good months. All I did was shine hunt and go to places. That was it. However, once I felt tired of all the exploration, I completed every single dungeon and headed straight to Ganon like a machine. And once the game was over, I had only gone back once. The reason? Just to see what was left. Side quests were always there, but they were never important to me because they have nothing to do with beating the game, nor do they supply me with anything valuable since, you know, the game is already so easy to beat. There was one side quest though that I was interested in, and that was restoring the village taken over by pirates. I'd spent a good 2 hours fighting and rebuilding the village from scratch, but after that, I never touched the game unless it was for a YouTube video. Now, was my experience boring? No, not at all. Was my experience new and exciting? For the first 15 hours, yeah, definitely. But after that, it wasn't so new anymore. I had seen everything, and the new parts of the game were just kind of easy. But that shouldn't mean that Tears of the Kingdom was a bad game, because it wasn't. That also doesn't mean we should complain about the game being repetitive either, because dude, it's literally a sequel in the same location. What did you expect? Did you expect UFOs with aliens in them or something? Did you expect Ganondorf to start dancing, talking about some... Even if it had that, it would still seem repetitive to you, and it's simply because it's a sequel with the same assets, the same map, and the same style. Why? Because it worked once. Clearly, it didn't work as good the second time, but good on Nintendo for testing this and seeing that they needed to change things up. But dude, you don't have to be a damn loser and go against Nintendo crying about a video game, okay? Whether you like it or not is up to you, right? But don't make multiple videos just yapping about the same thing over and over. It gets boring fast. Since the game was released, people have been saying this, and yet it continues on and on and on. If you go on the Zelda Reddit, you'll see even more. Oh, I didn't like Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, was it just me? Da, 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 da. I even made my own post making fun of those people, and then everybody in the comments was like, well, I actually felt this way. Of course you did! Anyway, that's just my rant about other people's rants. Did you like this video? If you did, watch my other content, please. It doesn't get any views. Goodbye.